started.
Sea Wolf starts off with e4. Okay, let's play e5 and see what he wants to play. Okay, a normal knight game. And now, the Ponziani, I think that's the name of this opening. I have to look it up later. I think d5 is the response. It's not supposed to be the greatest of openings, but the d5 is logical because the pawn on c3 is taken up both square for the knight, so the queen can sit here on the d5 square and not get chased away by the knight. So now he's going after this pawn. Let's not worry about it too much. If he kicks my queen, I can drop back to e6 or d6. I didn't want to move this bishop out and block my queen's retreat. Sometimes the queen needs to beat a hasty retreat here. Okay, so I think I want to castle quickly. So bishop here, hitting the d4 square, trying to slow down his d4 push, which I think is an idea here. And castle. Get a rook on the e-file now that he's got his queen and his king lined up there, which he's allowing. Okay, he's threatening to trap my bishop. This is one of those tricky moves. a4 threatens to trap the bishop because b4 and a5 all come with tempo. But on b4 I can drop back to f1. If I play rook e8, I can drop back to f8 with the bishop, or e7. I'm going to go all the way back to f8 so that where to put the rook? Knight is interesting, but knight here. He's gaining a lot of space. I want to play the move e4 here, from e5 to e4, try and open up around the king. Can I play it here? It hits his knight. He's hitting my knight. So pawn here, pawn takes, rook takes, wins the queen, so I don't mind losing the knight. Pawn here, pawn takes knight, hitting the queen and also trapping it. I think I can get away with this. It's always good to counterattack if you can, rather than just responding to your opponent's threats and playing purely defensive moves. So we'll see what he does here. Yeah, the threat is just to take the knight or the pawn and open up this file. Notice the knight is protecting the rook. That's very important because the rooks are not yet connected, so it's got to be supported by some piece. But this is a nasty thing happening on the D file. Okay, so I'm going to take here, and it's kind of like a double attack. And pawn's attacking the queen, and the rook's attacking the queen. Oh, he gives up the queen for a rook, and then he wins a piece. So it's a rook and a knight for the queen. Let's see, I can't play check. I was thinking maybe check, but he just takes it. And probably takes it with the bishop because he needs to defend his knight. So pawn here check, bishop takes. Is there any tactic there? There's also the check here. And the king has to move, right? Or the bishop could move. Yeah, okay, just take the pawn then. And he can grab this pawn, and I have a queen for a rook and a piece. That should be good. And then there's 3 minor pieces and a rook. Okay. So now I think just bishop takes pawn is probably fine here. His knight is not under attack at the moment. So I'm not making any great threats. This pawn is under attack, so his knight's a bit tied down. The knight on b1 is tied down. So let's just kick this knight and send it back home. And then get my pieces back out into the game. So knight here, bishop here, or here. Maybe developing the light squared bishop next. Where would that go? He can castle now. And get a rook on an open file. Basically, I need to maximize the activity of my pieces to take advantage of what I've got here. The bishop can't attack my queen. Oh, it could attack my queen here. I should have worried about this a little bit. Bishop here, but the queen has squares. If this bishop moves with tempo, this rook is unprotected. So let's cover the rook. There was a threat of bishop here, check, king takes, and rook takes rook, for example. So this knight is still tied down to the defense of c3. Yeah, I've got a pawn in addition to the queen against rook and piece, but with all these pieces on the board, it's sometimes difficult. They can gang up and harass the queen. And actually, I may have walked into a queen trap here. Bishop here. Queen can't go here. Could go to this square. Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, that's the pieces and pawns can take squares away from the queen, and it can get dangerous. Well, I needed to respond to the threat on the rook. But I should have calculated if I was losing the queen first. I shouldn't have done that after the fact. Okay, he's looking for a move here. He's got his pieces out. He's got his... everything's pretty well placed except for this knight, which he needs to defend. His rooks are not connected, so this rook is loose.
Server announcement.
If I could find a way to attack it. Maybe bishop to b3 is probably an idea, hitting the rook and the pawn. Yeah, he goes there anyway. So, like I said, I have no moves here. I can't go back along this diagonal. Can't go forward, so the only square is this one. But from there I have a few squares. Actually, not so many squares. This row is also the knight, the pawn, the bishop and knight, and the light squared bishop, the pawn and the rook are all covering this whole row. And the knight hits this square, so I'm still nearly trapped. So I guess he can repeat by putting his bishop here. And I don't know where I have anywhere to go except back where I came from. That's a shame. Let's see. I could do a counterattack. Bishop here hitting the rook. Bishop takes queen, bishop takes rook, but then he saves his bishop and I'm just down material. So that's probably what he's thinking about. He's thinking if he has anything better than just repeating. Which bishop takes a7 doesn't work because I played b6, and that even gives my queen a square to escape to. Okay, he decides to defend the pawn so his knight can come out. That's pretty smart. So here's my idea. I'm going to play bishop to c4, and then when the knight comes out to attack my queen, I will drop back to here, but then he can attack it with the knight again. So maybe I shouldn't go to c4. I should move my bishop somewhere else. Maybe just bishop here. So if he attacks my queen with the knight, my queen can retreat straight back to this square. and then I'm no longer losing my queen. Okay, I want to grab the a pawn over here, but this is I didn't want to give up the my own a pawn, so now I'm threatening to take on a4. Yeah, he defends it. Okay. No, that's not good. How about bishop here? So I can play knight to e4. Maybe get some more trades. He can take my knight there. I can take my bishop, huh? It's probably okay. I will allow that. Just need to trade off some of those minor pieces so the situation becomes clearer. And I will do that even in the expense of giving up the bishop pair, because my advantage of a queen against the two pieces should be sufficient. Okay, so now if he takes my knight, I'm going to take his knight over here. And since he didn't take my knight, I can develop my knight to... no, not there, it's going to get taken. Maybe I will go here. But I don't want him to damage my pawn structure like that. That could be dangerous, opening up things around my king like that. If I play the knight here and he advances the pawn, I could also get the knight to b4. Okay, so he's going there. If he takes the bishop, I take back with the queen. If he moves anywhere else, I'll just have to move the queen away. Like he can go here and then I'll have to move the queen. Aha, he piles on the pressure with the bishop move. Okay, so let's organize this a bit better. Okay, so bishop takes knight is still an idea. Yeah, so I'm going to attack his pinned knight. Takes my bishop, I take his rook. But then he takes my knight with check. So let's calculate. Knight takes bishop, rook takes rook, bishop takes knight check, king moves. So he's won 2 pieces for a rook. That may even the game. Knight takes bishop, pawn takes, he just grabs my rook, so I'm forced to play rook takes. He is getting low on time here. Maybe he's searching for a better continuation. Okay, he attacks my knight. I'm going to grab his knight. And he will take there with a fork. Yeah, I don't want to open this up. Let's see, can I move my knight with tempo? Yeah, knight there hitting the rook. And then pawn takes knight. If he advances the pawn, my rook is pinned, but I can unpin and give up the exchange, especially if I win a piece. Yeah, so should I take the rook first or the pawn first? I think pawn takes knight, bishop takes here, check, queen takes, and then bishop or rook takes there. Let's try taking the rook first.
Check.
Then I can take here, and then I can give up this whole piece. Yeah, which he's forcing. I have to give it up. So I unpin, and then once again it's rook and piece against the queen. But he's won a pawn. I have 5 against 5, and I was a pawn up. So he did gain something by all of that. So let's try and counterattack a bit here. The queen is hitting his bishop and protecting the back rank. He has mating ideas with rook here and bishop on this diagonal. I'll have to be careful of. Got to respect. And I have mating ideas with bishop here and queen on this diagonal or over here, but his rook was protecting this square. So there's also the check here. There is not the check there because that's covered. Okay, so here hitting his bishop. Here hitting his rook. He's got the check. Okay, he retreated there. So now I can go here. Yeah, his rook wasn't under attack. It was defended by the bishop. Okay.
Checkmate.
Well, he was just low on time and having to make quick moves. So I think he had some chances even there at the end. But interesting game. I will upload this and do a post-mortem. See you guys later. Bye.